Whoops, look, timer set. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 9 of the free 30-day Get Up and Go Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Might have said that already. Yesterday we talked about your change reaction. We listed out and we said, okay, and we just thought about what do we do? What do we do when we're faced with a change or a challenge? And what I like to do when I do that is I like to write down, and I actually did write it down. Where's my book? My notes. I do this right along with you, just so you know I'm not just making other people do things that I don't do myself. So I write down, what is my change process? What are the things I go through? What are the questions I ask myself? What do I actually do, right? Not what do I want to do? What do I think is the right answer? What do I actually do? Because a lot of times what we actually do versus what we tell people we do might not be exactly the same thing. For example, when I'm faced with changes or challenges that I don't want to deal with, I may spend some time in front of the boob tube, as my parents called it when we were growing up, in front of the television. Nowadays, there's thousands of channels, so you can find something of interest all the time. And I would like to say that I always watch educational, documentary, business-related shows, but of course, I love those, but I don't. I watch other things too. I watch just escape, no-mind craziness. And the interesting thing, since my sudden cardiac arrest, before my sudden cardiac arrest, I hated scary movies. I would never watch them. I was scared of them. Had my sudden cardiac arrest, dropped dead, still here today, and now I absolutely love creepy, scary horror films. I find them fascinating and hilarious. I guess because I find them hilarious. So, we're not talking about that, and who cares what I like for movies? What do you like for movies? What do you like for escapes? But my point is, all of us have things that we do when we're faced with changes and challenges that we could improve on, that we could do better about. So today, we're going to take your change reaction, and our tool is to flip switch it to what would be better for you. Not what would be better for me, not what would be better for your mom or your dad or your uncles or your cousins or your friends or your boss. What would be better for you? So flipping switch, or the flip switch, I learned this from Lynn Grabhorn. She wrote a book that I actually, after my sudden cardiac arrest, read on the recommendation of my friend Jim Edwards. And he's an internet marketing guru for 20 years now. He's an amazing man. And he recommended a book by Lynn Grabhorn that is, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. And he said, don't just read the book, get the workbook that goes along with it. Now, this is one of those workbooks that it took me the first time over a year to do it. And I started it last year as part of the Get Up and Go Challenge and all the craziness of 2020. And of course, I've set it aside and I don't have it done yet. So again, it's probably going to take me a year and a half, maybe even closer to 2 years, to finish it the second time through. Because this year I'm focusing on understanding what makes me tick and how I work better. That's my annual focus for my annual challenge this year. So how do you change your reaction? And what's this flip switch thing? Flip switch is as simple as turning on and off a light, turning on and off a switch, turning on and off a motor. We can change whether something is on or off and make it the opposite as simply as flipping a switch. We have that power within us. So what I like to do is I like to take a list of, and I haven't done it yet today because I haven't done my assignment yet today, but I like to take a list of the things that I do to currently handle change or challenges. So for example, I need a magnifying glass. If I resist change or challenges, if I flip the switch, what would be the opposite of that? Or what could I do instead? What would be a better action for me? Well, what if I accept what is? So I just like to take and list the old behaviors, the old process, and then kind of flip that and say, well, how would I ideally like this to be? What would be better for me? What would work best for me? So what's another example? If I deny that something's happening, I open my eyes and I actually take a look at it. I open my mind and I actually take a look at it. What if I want to ignore it? Well, then I like to try to take the emotion out of it. Because if I want to ignore something, there's a reason I want to ignore it. It's usually because I'm afraid or worried about something, or I'm uncertain about what's going to happen. Again, if I want to complain, what do I do? Well, I will take the emotion out of that as well. What if I'm feeling like a victim, like, poor me, why does this always happen to me? How come this is happening to me? Then I like to flip the switch to looking for the lesson, looking for the blessing, looking for the gift or the positive in what happened. Because guess what? As horrible as COVID-19 has been for millions or billions of people, it has also been the flip side, the opposite of that for millions and billions of people. As many people as are depressed and down and hurt by COVID-19 and the isolation and the loneliness, there have been that same number of people that have been positively impacted, probably more that have been positively impacted. As many businesses and industries as have been lost due to COVID-19, the pandemic, and the shutdowns and the lockdowns and the masks and all the expensive things that had to be gone to make businesses retrofit to be safe for human beings. Hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people, have changed careers, gone online, found different ways to make their way in the world, different ways that feel better for them. So what if you're upset or angry or negative about something? I say get excited about it, get curious, wonder, what if, ask why not. Well, why did they, instead of asking why did this happen, why not? What can I make out of this? If you're looking for a way out, look for solutions and focus on solutions. One of the best things we can do whenever we're faced with a change or challenge is immediately flip the switch to focusing on solutions. Procrastination, one of my favorite. Analyze, decide what you're going to do. Look at the situation. Instead of procrastinating, say, what is one tiny thing I could do right now? What is one little bitty step I could do instead of waiting? Whine, bitch, and moaning. This is one of my favorite. Find things to compliment about the situation, or find good things to find in this situation. If you want to do nothing, I say move it. That's what started the whole Get Up and Go challenge, was because I was feeling frozen and stuck and I didn't know what I really wanted to do. And so I realized that I needed to get up and go and absolutely take some action and do something. So take your process. I'm going to take my process from yesterday. Take my little yellow Post-it note of my process from yesterday, and I'm going to do this exact same thing. I'm going to say, what is the opposite? What's the flip of this that I could do to make it a positive for me instead of a negative, or make it a positive instead of a neutral, to give it more positive energy so I do want to take action and get up and go and move in the direction I want to go. Our action item today is just step by step, go through your process, flip the switch, and then share one thing in the comments below that you realize or you learn or you saw about your current process that you would be open to changing. That's it. That's our challenge for today. I want to keep it simple, keep it short whenever possible, because this one's a little bit more emotional, challenging, mental work than it is actually difficult to do. But it should just take you a minute or so. That's it. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow, and we are going to hop into what is the framework, the SOAP framework for actually guaranteeing that you will have better results after any change or challenge you face than in the past. All right, any questions, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Bye.